I am leaving the house. And what I mean by the house is the house my husband and I lived in for a while. Yes, I did upload a couple shorts and then deleted them for reasons I won't get into right now. But if you're super curious, you can go to my Instagram, because honestly, I've blocked a lot of people on that. But I can't really control who sees YouTube. But this is not something I am ashamed of at all. What happened a few weeks ago that I couldn't go into at the time, and what I thought I would keep more private, but I just not, is that I got a call that my husband, who I was, yes, in the middle of the divorce with, passed away. Like, he was found deceased. And it took several weeks. It could have taken longer. But the official cause of death was chronic alcoholism, which I told him to, cut back on. And he had a problem. I told him it would ruin him, it would ruin us, and he didn't want to listen to me, which most don't. And I uploaded a couple videos starting the story of what happened, his death, the fact that he died. I was trying to help his family. I did give over funeral rights to them because I thought they needed or deserved that, especially for the circumstances. We were in a divorce. However, I am legally next of kin. I am still seen as married to him, according to the state. I am next to kin. Our daughter is pretty much next to kin too. And it's just a mess. They changed the locks on the house and garage. They're separated. They're not the same building. The same day he died, I asked for a key twice. They didn't give it. I am legally and financially responsible for that property. And they didn't give me a key. They pretty much ghosted me. They had to tell me when the visitation was, because it's public knowledge, and of course they wanted my daughter there. The vibe I got was that they didn't want me to stay, but we did end up leaving because she was getting tired and cranky. And then they asked for her the next day because I thought family was in town, they needed family time, whatever. I offered to bring her whatever they wanted. The next day I did have to work. And then that night I found out they held a funeral and burial, and they had my daughter there, and that really bothered me. They did not even give me the option or anything. Like, they didn't ask me. They just took my daughter to her dad's funeral, and I understand that's her dad, but her mom wasn't there. I certainly wasn't informed. I wasn't asked. I don't know what happened. I don't know what she went through. I don't know if she was traumatized by it, because she wouldn't tell us what happened that day, even before we knew what happened. So, changed the locks on the house, cut the family off. I have to wrap up an estate without a will, which is almost in my favor because, I'm next of kin. And it's just been a roller coaster, because about a week later I found out that he was pretty much cheating on me, and all this other garbage he was doing that really just felt like a huge betrayal. I know we were in a divorce, but he would come at me once in a while saying divorce is a sin, we should be a family, all this, all that mumbo jumbo along those lines that was just silly. Meanwhile, I found a text that said I dropped off my daughter early so we can meet. So that shows your priority. It was just a lot. It's a lot emotionally, mentally. I am struggling to exercise, because I've had to shift priorities. I have my daughter more, which is fine. But she's not at her dad's over the weekend or whatever. So I have zero downtime. I can't recoup, which was really important to regaining my mental fortitude and stuff. It's not like anxiety and depression just magically go away the longer life goes on, especially when something extra traumatic happens. So I am trying to clean out the house. It wasn't as terrible as it could have been, but it definitely isn't great. It took me like 2 hours to scrub the toilet and vanity and around the toilet and stuff like that, because it was just, guy, gross, whatever. Just a lot of cleaning, a lot of organizing, a lot of pitching of junk, like receipts from 2 years ago, mail from 2 years ago that wasn't even opened. He had a jury summons that I don't even know if he sent back to the county. I found an anger management course completion certificate. I was like, excuse me? I mean, I tried to keep our private life separate, because if I opened a door to private information, he just thought he could walk on in, blow me over. He got mad at me because I didn't say hello, good morning, how are you one time when I was picking up my daughter. That's not our conversation anymore, and he didn't understand that. So going back to the house is actually quite difficult for me, not just because of the memories, but also because my in-laws / ex-in-laws just live like 2 miles down the road. They have easy access to the place, and I still get really scared, honestly, if they were to show up. I've told them if they show up, I will call the cops, but it's still a bit just nerve-wracking sometimes. And he was a single sort of dad, but other people have been perfectly capable of taking care of their house while taking care of their child, a quarter of their week. It's really not even that much that he had her. But the other reason I struggle going back there is because I look at things and I go, I took care of that. I did that. I facilitated this. I put underground electric in. I put insulation in the house. I rewired certain things. I kept things marginally clean. I've never been a good housekeeper, but it was definitely better than that. And the couches and the furniture, and I was trying to get things painted so it didn't look like such a bachelor pad. He hung on to the previous owner's stuff because he could not let go. So that was what I was dealing with, and what I'm still dealing with now. And with all the stuff that's come out, it's hard for me also to figure out what items my daughter would like in the future of his. I don't want to completely put the kibosh on the fact that she had a dad and this was his life. She had good times with him, and I have to accept that. I'm trying to tell myself they had good times together and encourage her to tell stories. She's not even 4 years old, but it is just a hard road to travel with all of the betrayal and disrespect. He was a narcissistic alcoholic, and he wasn't the worst. He didn't beat me, but it definitely wasn't acceptable, which was why I left. I did not want our daughter thinking that that was the way you treat people, because that is not acceptable. So just a lot of things going on there. I did do a whole montage of things going on that I did put on Instagram, like I said, but I can block people on Instagram that don't need to see it. And if you are the praying sort, I just would appreciate your prayers for us to get through this and to not have any more drama. My daughter doesn't deserve it. She didn't deserve for any of this to happen. I always, even before this, apologized to her that she got such crummy parents. But she's safe, she's happy, she's a giggly, funny, sassy girl, and she is coming through with flying colors. She is, I think, more emotionally stable than she used to be, which to some might be a slap in the face, but I know this was the right move. I know that she doesn't need to be around those kind of people that are going to fill her with lies and resentment and vindictiveness and malice and disrespect. Quite honestly, that's all I've felt from them for the last 2-3 years, because I did leave for about a month prior to me actually leaving for good, and ever since then it's been difficult to deal with that family. So anyway, like I said, if you could just keep us in your prayers so that we can get through this with as little drama as possible. I'd appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well, and eventually I will get back to posting other things that are not so drama filled.